Tekken is hard. The thought of even attempting this game at this point is a daunting experience. It has over 30 characters, hundreds of moves each, and players who have been playing it since I was in elementary school. So I gave myself 7 days to catch up. I had no prior knowledge about this game, who the characters were, the lore, fighting styles, nothing. And somehow, in 7 days, I hit a rank you probably wouldn't expect. But before we jump into the video, if you like this kind of content, then go ahead and lightly caress the like button, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I decided to try a character that I heard was super slippery, Azucena. And my first opponent was a Brian that was absolutely cracked. I got my ass kicked. Multiple perfects, 10-hit combos, all while I was trying to even figure out how the buttons worked. If this is the baseline of players in Prowess 100, I had a long way to go. Now, to even stand a chance, I did something I almost never do in fighting games. I played the campaign, and it was immediately eye-opening to me. Tekken isn't just randomly throwing out launchers and praying they hit. Every character felt like they had an entire textbook worth of moves. Strings that branch 3 different ways, sidestepping that completely changes interactions, tornado extensions, tail spins, wall carries that drag you across the screen. There was so much more to this game than I thought possible. But I'm gonna be honest here, that's all in retrospect. Playing through the campaign brought me back to arcade modes when I was a kid, just smashing buttons and beating a boss in the most cheesy way possible. It was so fun to just mess around in the game and feel like a complete scrub. By the time I finished the campaign and fought Kazuya enough times to genuinely grow tired of hearing his voice, I knew 2 things. 1, Tekken is way deeper than I thought. And 2, if I kept playing the way I just did in the campaign online, I was going to get destroyed. So I queued up and found a new opponent. This time, a Paul player. And unlike my first match that had combos and mix-ups that I didn't even know were happening, this guy was just spamming one move over and over and over again. I was fully confused on what to even do. After getting hit by it way too many times, I finally adapted. Yo, shit! And with that small adjustment, I won my first game. It was a small step to getting way better, but something didn't seem right still. Azucena was fun, but it didn't feel like a character I would want to play long term. So I went back to the drawing board and tried a bunch of other characters. Lydia, Haorang, Leo, but absolutely nothing was really clicking for me. In the back of my mind, I was just hearing a faint whisper of the truth. A character with grappling, high damage, and style. There was really only one correct answer for me. King. So now that I know the character that I was going to be playing, tomorrow was going to be a lot easier for practicing. I wanted to start day 2 strong, so I jumped straight into a quick match. And somehow I found another king. Just 2 brand new Tekken players, no optimized combos, no frame traps, no clue what we were doing. Just throws, missed inputs, random armor crushes. It was pure chaos, pure heart, messy, scrappy, and it was perfect. This was probably the most silly the game felt to me, and genuinely is the reason I love fighting games in the first place. As great as it is to get good at games, this pure fun and enjoyment is what we're all chasing when we boot up a game. Give him the backbreaker. Give him the backbreaker.
Es un carrusel de amor sin razón de perder la cabeza con tanta pasión. Así es la vida, a veces perdida como la lunita. Tenía amante, volamos allá. Quemamos el cielo con tanta piedad. Todo en esta vida ya lo veo.
Get out of here. Oh, he's too good. Nice.
Yo gano, yo pierdo, no tengo consuelo. Grito al cielo, mira. Es un carrusel sin razón de perder la cabeza con tanta pasión. Así es la vida, a veces perdida como la lunita, mira. Tenía amante, volamos allá. Quemamos el cielo con tanta piedad. Todo en esta vida ya lo veo.
After 5 matches, I decided to call it quits and thank the homie for some good games. As much fun as it was smashing random buttons and watching King suplex my opponent left and right, I think it's time to learn some actual combos from the trials. So I spent a little bit of time practicing, and being honest, I still had no clue what to do in these matches. Coming from 2XKO with very little motion controls, Tekken was looking like a foreign language with how I was supposed to string together moves. I even watched a little bit of a recent tournament with a player named The John, who's also a King player, hoping I could maybe figure out some moves from just watching. With a little bit of practice and hopefully some training via osmosis, I jumped into my next game, this time versus an Azucena. Now, it wasn't quite the King vs. King match that I played, but every new match was still exciting. I took game 1, but in game 2, Azucena was able to make a comeback with her rage art on the final round.
Maybe I live? No. Ain't no way.
With 1 game apiece, we had to run it back. I ended up taking the game 3-1. After playing a couple more matches, I called it quits for the day so I didn't burn myself out too quickly. If you've seen any of my previous videos, you know I kinda have a trope in everything I make. And that's the inevitable friends episode. Games are always way more fun with friends. So just like with any other game, I invited a homie to play some friendlies to mash buttons and get some laughs along the way. Pierce was playing Jack 8, another massive damage character, and wearing an outfit that I didn't even know was possible at the time. For the next hour, we rematched each other over and over, changing stages, costumes, and characters. They were close matches, and a ton of us just being dumb, trying the worst moves on each other. While playing the game, one of Pierce's buddies randomly joined the Discord, and unknown to me at the time, but he's really good at Tekken. After watching us play for a while, he had me join a practice area with him so he could show both me and Pierce some basic mechanics in the game. With that knowledge, Pierce was feeling super confident, so he booted up some ranked games, and in one of his first games he played against a character he knows pretty well, King. But this King was way different to mine. This guy actually knew how to play. He was juggling, using moves I had never even seen on King yet, and unfortunately for Pierce, destroying him. But at the end of round 3, Pierce got a crazy call out to finish the game with Rage Art. It was starting to look even, both characters in sync and going for the win, and as if decided by fate, a double KO. Watching this match had me more excited for getting better at King, and at the end of all 3 of their games, King won. Disappointing for sure, but also inspired us to get better at the game. So with a quick follow and labeling this King as his rival, we decided to call it quits for the day, but I had a feeling we'd see this King again. Today was the day I knew I was going to start trying ranked. Watching Pierce play made it feel a little less terrifying. At least now I knew what I was signing up for. So with a new costume, I queued up for ranked, and the beginner ranks are just that. For beginners. My first match, clean 3-0. Rematch, another clean 3-0. And for a second, I thought, okay, maybe this won't be too bad. But my next opponent, playing the exact same character as my previous match, was different. They were using the special menu, and I was not ready to be swept and juggled by the easy one-button combos. And I'll be honest, I kinda thought of switching to special style for a second. Just one button, easy combos, no execution. It sounded nice. But my pride is way too big. I could never forgive myself if I took the easy way out. After a few more matches, a mix of wins and ugly losses, I started to notice a pattern. Low kicks, constant mashing, panic rage arts the second they were able. Getting out of beginner ranks seemed more of a guarantee rather than an accomplishment. And blue ranks weren't about combos. They were about not panicking. So for the most part, everything was going pretty smoothly. At least until I had to fight Raidens. A How Wrong player that, at least in our first match, had my number. It felt like every time I pressed a button, I was already wrong. His follow-ups were so fast after block that I genuinely thought my controller was broken, but that ended up being his downfall. He was always pressing buttons.
I'll do it first, right?
Once I learned that, I won our matches with ease. After a few more opponents, I hit green ranks. And here's the wild part. I still wasn't doing any combos. No optimized routes, no crazy tech. Just patience, timing grabs, catching armor crush attempts. Fundamentals carried me 2 full ranks. After climbing those 2 ranks, it seemed like a good place to stop and try again tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm brawler.
Because I knew tomorrow was definitely not going to be as easy as today. Green ranks feel different. Beginner rank is chaos. Blue rank, panic. But green rank is ego. And I'm not even talking about other people. Mine was the problem. The ego of tearing through the easy ranks was catching up to me. My first couple of games within these ranks were still really easy, and I was genuinely wondering at a point, why do so many people think Tekken is hard? Even without combos, I was doing fine. Double jab into throw, armor crush kicks. It was all just kinda working. And that was where I was wrong. Truly. After winning 5 back-to-back games, I found an opponent that put me in my place hard. A Law player named Kizu. Even off rip, his movement was looking different to everyone else I fought so far. This guy was no slouch, getting 80 damage off punishes and knew exactly what to do when I whiffed. Within less than 2 minutes, all 3 of our games were over. I got destroyed. It felt completely hopeless. But even with that, I had to rematch for respect. I tried to play a little more patient. I still wasn't sure how to punish his crazy fast moves, but not allowing myself to be opened up as much was something I could control. With that, I was able to take one round off of him. Sure, I didn't win, but that one round meant something, because it proved that small adjustments mattered. And if I could take a round off of someone that much better than me, maybe green ranks wasn't where I was meant to stay. And with a couple more games, I got into yellow ranks. And that's when I found one of my most frustrating matches of the entire climb. Not because this person was god tier or their character felt cheap to play against, but because their connection was so bad that I felt like the whole game was being played in slow-mo. I'm talking press a button and wait a good couple of seconds to watch your character slowly turn and hit the opponent. And my stubbornness told me, even though the connection was so bad, at least I won. So I had to rematch and pray that the connection would get better.
Okay.
And
Well,
it
I
didn't,
felt like I had to play
but
that
at least
one
I
in
did
slow
get some
motion.
free wins. Between this and another player
I'm too
pulling
far
the plug right when I was about to win, I was eager to climb out
disconnected.
of these ranks in search of better
They pulled
opponents.
the plug.
I decided even after I got into the yellow ranks to keep playing and see how much farther I could get for the day. In the sea of games I played, I ended up getting a comeback that was so satisfying. I was down 2 rounds to 1, down to my last bit of
please tell
health,
me you saw
and I
that.
caught him with a rage art while he was spamming. After that match, I called it quits and basked in the glory of beating a Hwoarang player. I started day 6 off strong, beating an Armored King player to secure my spot into the red ranks. But red ranks don't care about just basic skills. They test if you can adapt in real time. My adaptation came in the form of a Clive player, someone that in our first match, I won 2-1. But for some reason we queued back into each other instantly. One after another, but in this match, he changed one thing. Instead of trying to do everything himself, he turned on the special menu. Now, I don't think the special menu is a band-aid for bad play. You can't just turn it on and all of a sudden be a better player. But it did take away something he was struggling with. Execution. Low after low after low, I was constantly getting clipped, swept, pressured. I had 2 choices: adapt or lose. And just like that, with a simple adjustment, I was able to close the set. Learning to slowly adjust felt way better than just some random win. Seeing actual growth made me excited to keep playing. But I never knew at the time just how valuable learning to low parry would be. Not until I came across a new player, a Lily player, that didn't need special style to keep spamming lows on me. Just clean gameplay that was outplaying me at every turn. And it kinda stung. It wasn't getting cheesed out, this was just me not being ready. I ended the match losing 2-1, happy to take a game, but frustrated with seeing just how much further I had to climb. But Tekken has a funny way of giving you second chances. A few matches later, I saw the same name again. The same Lily that gave me so much trouble. And this time, I was ready. Clean, only dropping one round each time. And that's when I realized I was finally playing Tekken. There was no need for warm-ups today. I woke up ready and honestly itching to play Tekken. I didn't have the same ranked anxiety as before, so I queued up and something clicked.
I don't got time for them messing around. I'm stuck in the O, but I'm making it out. Say that they got it, I'm testing them out. They hearing it talk, they ain't making a sound. Say they on 10, so I told them let's go. Swear that I mean every word that I wrote. Call me a dog, but I said on the gold. If this the Olympics, I'm taking a gold. I'm taking a If this the Olympics, I'm taking a
Red ranks weren't feeling like a wall anymore. Just another rank to climb up seamlessly. Just a path I needed to take to get to the purple ranks. I was so close to reaching my goal. But this next match was something different. Something familiar. A king player just like me. I knew at some point I would see this guy again. The same one from day 3. The one who destroyed my buddy Pierce in ranked. The one I never got to fight. The one who stood between me and purple ranks. This wasn't just another match anymore. This was unfinished business.
that it? Yes! Let's go! Mighty Ruler!
And I did it. I beat him. Actually, I didn't just beat him, I had destroyed him. A player that both me and Pierce looked at in awe. Someone that on day 3 was so different to my king, it was hardly recognizable. And when that final combo landed, that last little bit of health disappeared. I finally got it. Mighty Ruler. This wasn't just for me, this was for Pierce, for day 1 me who couldn't even block properly, and for everyone who told me Tekken was just going to be too much to learn. 7 days ago, I didn't even know what half of my moves did. I was terrified of even trying to play online. And now, just 7 days later, hitting purple ranks. If Tekken feels impossible, if ranked feels scary, or even if you think you're just too late to try and start playing, you're not. It just takes reps, losses, and moments stacked on top of each other where it just finally clicks. So if I can do this in just 7 days, so can you. Queue up, and I'll see you in Tekken.